I'm Charles B. McIntosh. I was initiated at Alpha Xi Chapter, Florida, A&M College at the time, now Florida A&M University. And I was initiated in 1944 as a freshman, and I was on the line in the spring of 1945.
My name is Brian Neal Jefferson Sr. I was initiated in spring of 1997 at the University of North Florida.
I'm Frank S. Emanuel. I was initiated at the Florida A&M University Chapter Alpha Xi in 1965.
Broderick Edwards was initiated fall 1979 at the Miles College Chapter, the Delta Tau of Kappa Alpha Psi.
I'm Brother David Randolph Snell. I was initiated Beta Epsilon, University of Pittsburgh, spring 1969.
My name is Alan Moore, initiated at Fort Myers Alumni Chapter in 1980.
Jonathan W. Johnson. I was initiated in 1996 in Des Moines Alumni.
My name is Walter R. Jones Sr. I was initiated spring of 1973 at Pi Chapter Morehouse College.
My name is Alton W. Yates. I was initiated in 1979 at the Alumni Chapter, Jacksonville, Florida.
Nolan Gilmore, initiated at Jacksonville Alumni Chapter, May 1st, 1971.
My name is Harvey James Harper. I was initiated in an undergrad chapter as the first chapter to be organized on the campus of Edward Waters University.
My name is John Bernie King, but my preference is to be called J. Bernie King. I was initiated here in Jacksonville, Florida, the Alumni Chapter, in 1966.
I pledged at FAMU, Alpha Xi Chapter, in spring 1974 with the Mighty Headhunters.
My name is Brother Wayne Calhoun. I was initiated in September 1976, Anniston, Alabama.
My name is Henry R. Daniels. I was initiated in the Alumni Chapter in 1964 by way of the graveyard on Moncrief in Edgewood.
I want to say 6970. Two young men online at the Alpha Xi, and those that the players at Alpha Xi know that to have two individuals online was a big challenge. Those were a friend of mine. I witnessed them go through the process, and I wanted to go after them, but I couldn't afford it. But I witnessed what they did, and I witnessed what the chapter was doing on campus, and really just became interested in pursuing that at whatever time I could do it in the future.
I got initiated the first year, my first year in Des Moines. A neighbor actually invited me to come along with a breakfast and introduce me to some men. And the people that I met that morning were all professionals and all successful, but more than that, the personalities of each of the men. And it was about 6 of them. They were all welcoming and inviting. And I felt a kinship to them because there were few blacks in Des Moines in the first place. But the fact that I'd met all of these professionals at one time, and they all were not egotistical, and they all were not talking about what they had or what they did. They were more or less talking about how would you like to be a member, or how would you like to join our fraternity? Here are some of the things we're doing in the community. And when they introduced themselves in that manner to me, I was interested?
Well, as an undergraduate at Edward Waters College, I observed the men who were being initiated, and I was impressed. During that particular time, I was unable to pledge primarily because of, financial reasons. And also, once I graduated and my first teaching job, the majority of the men on the staff were Kappas. And I felt like that was a good fit for me because of the way that they carried themselves. And so I said, okay, yes, Kappa is the one for me.
In high school, I had several teachers that were Kappas. I had several coaches that were Kappas. And those people were my role models.
My roommate did. My roommate, he always wanted to be a Kappa. Actually, I was going to pledge Omega because my mother was a Delta and she was pushing Omega. But my roommate kept talking so much about the Kappas. He convinced me to go to one of the smokers. And I went to the smoker with him, and the brothers just impressed me so much, I forgot all about Omega, and I ended up joining Kappa. The funny thing about it is my roommate never made the line.
We always believe in achievement, the Alumni chapter and Kappa in general. And that word achievement means a whole lot to me. Even in my family and growing up, achievement was the most important thing. You can do bad by yourself, but you can do better aiding and helping others. So you achieve in any field of endeavor, want to be there to serve mankind.
Well, first and foremost, to Mr. Kappa. In Jacksonville, I believe every Kappa man who has been involved with the chapter, at least from the 50s, knew the Kappa man as Maxie Wilson. Maxie Wilson was Mr. Kappa. That man lived and breathed Kappa in everything he did and every word he spoke. He upheld the principles of this fraternity that many of us are still trying to live up to. So Maxie would be the first. Kiptus Green, he was another who really loved and believed in this organization, and who were these two guys were the face of Kappa in Jacksonville for so many. Kiptus, a leader in the educational community, Maxie first in the educational community, and then of course in the Postal Service. People knew them, and if they knew them, they knew Kappa.
Yes, I would. There are many. I can't think of all those people's names, but I did think of some names. And the names that I thought of, my first pole mark in Jacksonville Alumni Chapel was John T. Floyd, a man that helped me to become a man, of course. In this chapter was Ike Grayson, Lawrence Jones, Maxie Wilson.
My good friend, he recently transitioned just a few months ago, Brother Brian Campbell. Brother Campbell was my pastor for 16 years. And during that time, once he learned that I was a Kappa man, that's all he ever wanted to talk to me about. I want to be a Kappa man. I want to be a Kappa man. And Brian served in the Army, and he ended up going, as a preacher, he ended up going to school to get his divinity degree. And unfortunately, his degree was not at an institution that was accredited by one of our accrediting associations. So he had to wait. And, you know, he had friends that are members of other Greek organizations that talked to him about, oh, we can get you in, we can get you in. Brian said, I'm either a Kappa or I'm nothing. And, you know, I think about Brian every day.
One brother in particular is Dr. Bill Cody. So he was a personal friend, and as many people know, he was a great Kappa man. I mean, he loved Kappa. And when you're around him, you know this. I mean, wasn't something hard to figure out. And so I really will miss him. He always recognized you as a person.
When my job transferred us here to Jacksonville from California, it was 2001. And my wife and I were attending a play at the Jacksonville Performance Arts. I met Brother Bill Cody doing the intermission. Had my Kappa lapel pin on, dressed, all of that. So he asked me, he said, brother, you financial? I said, no, I'm not. I said, and I told him my experience with the East Palo Alto chapter. And I said, when I came to Jacksonville, I had no desire to become affiliated with another chapter that wasn't about anything. And so he told me, he says, well, the Jacksonville Alumni chapter is nothing like that. He says, we are about making a difference in this community. So if you're going to wear the pin, he says, you need to be financial or take it off. I'll never forget that. That was like 20 years ago. And he never had to tell me that again. I was financial from that point and active. So he was a difference maker in my life.
My career has been, I've had a career that I pretty much, when I started my career, I've done everything in life that I have asked God to allow me to do. I've been a police officer for 43 years. I retired from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office to become an investigator for the State Attorney's Office. Recently, and about a year, almost 2 years ago, I retired from the State Attorney's Office. And about a year ago, I was asked to come back to do criminal investigations for the Duval County School Police Department. So I've been there for the past year.
I got a degree in business administration, marketing. So I always wanted to be in the business world. So I was able to aspire to be in the insurance profession. I was an insurance executive on the property claims side. So I've traveled all around the country, auditing and supporting other operations, and I ran an operation out of Bermuda. Some of my audits took me to London, England, where we had locations over there. So I was happy to have gotten to senior level positions in the insurance industry.
Well, I started out as graduated from Florida A&M College of Pharmacy and went on to practice pharmacy at St. Vincent's. Was one of the first black pharmacists to ever integrate that pharmacy staff over there. And then after I'd been there for a while, I decided I wanted to go back to school and do a little more things in pharmacy. And so I decided to go back to school and get the doctorate degree in pharmacy and came back to St. Vincent's and established a clinical program there where pharmacists would make rounds with the physicians while they were seeing patients, and that's something that hadn't been done before, because in the past, pharmacists just stayed in the basement of a hospital and filled prescriptions and send the orders up to the floor. But when I started doing things, I would go around, physicians would go around and see patients in their rooms, and I would go with them. And so when they would diagnose the patients of their issues or whatever they had going on with them, and then they would ask me my advice about what drugs to put the patients on. And so that was a chance for me to have a direct, immediate input rather than waiting until the medication, they would write the orders and send it to the pharmacist. I was right there with them.
All I can say is, hail Kappa Alpha Psi. It's good to be a Kappa.
To see the full documentary and the full interviews of each brother, please go to JacksonvilleKappas.com.
Give me that old Kappa spirit, give me that old Kappa spirit, give me that old Kappa spirit. It's good enough for me, oh, give me that old Kappa spirit. Give me that old Kappa spirit, it's good enough for me.